Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Squawk and Tease podcast, your favorite Pokemon podcaster's favorite Pokemon podcast. My name is Kyle Koopa Rios, and we're live for the first time in a couple months. We figured it's the week of the Pokemon World Championships in Anaheim, California, and the live shows are planning on coming back after Worlds anyway. Might as well get started a week early. I'm really just trying to get out in front because Taylor Swift is announcing a new album tomorrow. So, trying to really ride the hype of that for the people that are fans of both of ours. I'm joined as I am every week by my buddy, the Pony Bottle Champ, Mr. George Ray. George, how you doing, bud?
Not so good right now.
What's the matter?
Not
Tell
so
me,
good, Kyle.
tell me your woes.
Well, the company, as we speak live right now, TSIS is having a nationwide outage. So my biggest account, probably our company's biggest account in New Jersey, cannot process credit cards. And we can't do anything about it.
That's tough.
So I'm just reading these text messages, and people are very unhappy.
That's tough. Now, is that the fault of the credit? That's the fault of who? Like, who's...
Basically, it's like the gateway that bridges our merchant services bank in their bank account. So, yeah, we need them. We rely on them. So, it's not really a spot-on issue.
It's somebody else's issue. Well, hopefully that's resolved by the time this episode's over. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But we're going to...
resolve in the next 5 minutes.
I hope so, too. But we got a pretty straightforward show for you guys planned today. Again, we both got a lot going on, so we're going to make this one as streamlined as possible for everybody. But, again, shout outs to the people that are hanging out with us currently in the Twitch chat. Again, we know it's been a minute since we've done one of these live shows, but we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. But yeah, we got some Pokemon to talk about.
So actually, I have a cool story to tell you.
Please go ahead.
Hey, Marielle. What's up?
Hi, Marielle.
So I was at a cup on Sunday, and I'm playing my first round. I won, by the way. Round one. I won round one. And then this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, are you like the Pony Bottle Champ? Is that you?" And I was like, What did you just call me?
What the fuck did you just say to me?
And he's like, "Yeah, I'm I forget his name, which is bad on me, but I won the giveaway. Thank you so much." I you.
Nice.
How crazy is that?
That's crazy. That's so cool. Did you? I would, if somebody called me my internet handle in a place and I wasn't expecting it, I'd snap into fucking form like a Pavlov dog. It's like, blah, blah, blah. Like, what the hell did you say to me?
Like just seeing my Twitter, on his phone, I was like, wait, what?
At least it's for something good and not like, hey, you owe me money or something like that, right? Like, there's worse places to be recognized, in my opinion. What do you think is the worst place to be recognized?
I mean, do you want me to give you a PG answer or?
Let's just forget I asked that. Let's just forget. I'm gonna scrub that from post. It's fine. We'll just forget. We'll just forget that I even said anything. Yeah. So talk about your weekend, George. How was the cup? How was going to a Pokemon thing this weekend? I know you've been very busy, as clearly as previously advertised. Getting ready for the World Championships as a spectator. How was your little cup getaway this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of fun. I'll tell you what. I don't know if if I could say that I'm washed, but I'm washed. So I don't know how to play this game.
Talk about what happened. Let's. Let's talk
So I
about it with the
played
class.
Guardy. I didn't play Jellicent. I played just like a version with Devo and Fluttermane. You know, I'm a big Fluttermane believer right now.
Gucci Mane, as it said
Gucci
in our
Mane.
last main episode.
Yeah. Gucci Mane. And yeah, you know,
That was good. Keep going. I'm sorry.
first two rounds went great. It was 2-0, and then I played like a good player, playing Pult Noir, and I mean, 4 prizes, turn 2 they took on me, and next thing I knew, Gardevoir wasn't coming out, and you know, they stink. Then round 4, I played Charizard. You would think, you know, George
Wow.
probably knows what to do against Charizard.
You ran into your ex at the fucking cup. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I just absolutely, I like there was a stain in my bed, brother. Like I shit right on it. Like, it was quite disturbing. Turn 3, I pulled off a Devo play with 90 damage counters on his Charizard, with only a Pidgeotto in play and no other Charmeleons. So, you know, sounds great. But the problem was he had 100 HP
Oh,
Charmeleon underneath.
oh no.
Yeah. Yep.
That sucks. That sucks.
Yep. Sure does. So I lost that game too. And then game 3, or round 5, my third loss, I ran into Kenny, also playing Guardian. He played Jellicent. I used my Fluttermane to TM Evo, and then he responded by knocking out my Fluttermane with Jellicent, and that's GG's, because I can't do shit after that.
That's a tough one. That's a real tough one to
Yeah.
swallow.
I literally couldn't do anything.
That sucks. That's the Guardy way. But the dim sum looked pretty good afterwards. So
Dim Sum was banging. Me and Harrell got espresso martinis afterwards. Then we got Woe Hop, ate more Chinese food, took it home. It was awesome next day. Everything else was great. I just, you know what, Kyle, though, do you think I cared that I played bad, though? I did.
I don't think you did. I don't think you did.
No. I mean, the TM Devo thing, I was pretty mad about. That was embarrassing. So.
Well, that's tough. But you know what? We lived to see another day. Shout out to Andrew, who made top 4 of the cup over the weekend. Proud of him. Trying to find a angle for Pittsburgh, I guess. So good on him. He's playing some. Was he playing that that Zard Pidgeot nonsense over the weekend?
Andrew?
Yes.
Yeah, he was playing something. I think there's Polt in there too. I don't know. Monkey Dory. It was a whole lot of things.
Tough concoction of stuff.
Yeah, it looked like way too much.
As one does. Keeping with the theme of Gardevoir and not knowing what the hell you're doing, I also played Gardevoir this week to a sanctioned Pokemon event for points. And boy, let me tell you, my brain was fucking spinning. I went to a challenge at FTG on Wednesday. Ended up getting... I decided that, like, the week before, I was probably going to play Gardevoir. I'm on this, like, weird streak of wanting to play decks that hurt me and hurt my brain. But I felt like it was a pretty decent choice, knowing what people that go to the store like to play. And I was partially correct. I finished 3-3, so not bad considering I played Gardevoir like maybe not more than 5 times. in standard since the card came out. So, pretty fun stuff. I lost to 2 Goldengos, fittingly enough. I ran into my ex at the tournament in the form of Goldengo. One of them was to Rob. Rob had to flip through. I just want to go on a limb and say that Mind Bend is a lie. And every single time someone rolled for confusion against me, they hit heads. So confusion is not real, and can't hurt me. It is what it is.
It usually works out pretty well for me.
Yeah, I suck. I don't know what my problem is. So, yeah, Rob had a pretty nice play. I kind of walked into this. I had a choice of Earth Investling away a. You all right? What happened to your screen? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Says the screen went fuzzy for a second. We'll fix that.
It's definitely settings on your end. I'm starting to realize.
It might be. I don't know.
Okay. Whatever. I'm listening. Go ahead.
It's fine. Yeah. I had a choice of Earth Investling away a research or an Iono. And without knowing what Rob was gonna do the next turn, shout out Rob Ara, by the way. Rob did really good at the challenge until he ran it until Goldango stopped working. But he uses Energy Search Pro on on my turn where I discarded an Iono instead of a research off of Vessel. He Energy Search Pro, but didn't use the energy. So there's an opportunity on the next turn I could have Iona'd all that energy back into his hand, and in retrospect, I probably don't get blown up the next turn because I took a knockout. He counter catch knocks out my only Gardevoir in play, and then I'm kind of spinning my wheels for the next couple turns. So I probably could have navigated that better. It just kind of came down to a Mind Bend coin flip at the end. I played against another Goldango, and then I couldn't get set up. I couldn't find rare candy to get Gardevoir online almost ever. So just a bad day at the office for me. And then my last round, I lost a Gardevoir mirror with Jellicent. Jellicent sucks. So couldn't really do anything about that.
Suck. That card is annoying.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything, but I'm pretty I gaslit myself to a long time to thinking that I couldn't play a deck like Gardevoir because it's a lot of thinking and it's a lot of moving, a lot of mathing and moving damage around. And that definitely came back to bite me a couple times. I miscalculated some math in my first round that I played, and I whiffed knockout on something by 10 points, 10 HP. But it worked out in my favor anyway because I could just move that damage the next turn, and I took I think I took a 3-prize turn against EV Box. So I surprised myself. I don't know. Deck's fun. Gardevoir is not necessarily as hard as I thought it was to pilot, so might be in the rotation for at least a little bit because everything else, everyone that goes to the locals that I like to attend plays things that make playing Goldango very difficult because they play things that beat me. It's not always the funnest.
Goldango is really not that good right now, I feel like.
I mean, we'll talk about it when we get to the tier list thing that I got pulled up here, but it was fine. It just kind of depends on your local meta is going to vary from place to place. So sometimes people show up to this place and play Crustle. So who knows what's going to happen, but yeah, fun weekend of Pokemon. I did not go to the Cup this weekend because I was in Virginia this past weekend for a Super Smash Brothers tournament. It was a lot of fun. Mariel was there with me. Got to explore the beautiful lands of Chantilly, Virginia.
Chantilly.
Not much going on there.
Which, of course, in German means...
Whale's vagina?
You said it, not me. You said
Great, great movie. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Fun little road trip. I got to see some friends from high school that I haven't seen since I became not fat anymore, so that was fun. But fun weekend. Fun little getaway. Went to a zoo on Sunday. That was a lot of fun. Excuse me, I went to a farm. Had some really good barbecue. It was awesome. 10 out of 10. But yeah, now we're back. Busy week at work. I'm not necessarily pleased about it, but we're here to talk about some Pokemon. So I as we mentioned up top, we're going to do things a little bit more streamlined this week. There is no proper Squawk and Seas this week, because I figured we can kind of like incorporate that into this tier. I pulled up a tier list of all of the meta decks going into the World Championships, and I think this is going to be a great place for us to talk about anything that's remotely relevant going into this into the weekend. So, George, are you ready to get started into this this tier list I have here?
Let's do it. I'm pumped.
Now, for those of you who want to, if you want to follow along at home, folks, we are using the Trainer Hill tier list creator. So, that being said, I have over here a tier list of all the meta-relevant decks going into this weekend. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. That should be fine. That should fit everything right there. Yeah, cool. Yeah, definitely some better options than others, depending on where you are, or depending on what decks you want to play. So I will open the floor for discussion first here, and I think we'll just go in deck order here. I think there's definitely some. I compared to like last year's World Championships, I definitely feel like this is like a little bit more of a more open field. Like we've been saying it for the last couple of episodes, but it's definitely very easy to look at last year's World Meta and just like see how good Reggie Drago actually was. This time I think it's a little bit more like balanced, even though I definitely think there is like, you know, one or two like very, very good picks here. So, without further ado, George, where would you like to place our friend Goldango here in the tier lists?
I would put him at B tier.
Okay, let's talk me through your reasoning here. Why are you putting Goldango at B?
Because I think right now there's just a lot in the meta that 270 doesn't really save you. Also, Charizard decks are really popping up. You know, Zard Holt, Zard Pidgeot, just like kind of like a Zard Dusknoir one. And a lot of them are playing Chi-Yu as well. I just don't really see Goldango, you know, sticking with the fire boxes out there too. Typhlosion. There's just a lot of weakness, a lot of fire in the meta right now, as well. But it's never had a good matchup really against Dragapult. Guardy, it's like fine, but like I still think you don't want to see it. I don't know. What is the good matchup right now for Goldango? I don't really know.
Well, you raised a lot of good points there. I'm going to split the difference with you because I was actually going to put Goldango in S tier, so I'm going to split the difference. You're going to I think we're going to put it in A tier. I'll explain my reasoning why. All of that is very like valid pointage. Goldango is a very easy deck to game plan against because it just loses to a lot of silly stuff. Obviously, your Typhlosion matchup is not great. Your EV box matchup is not great. Anything that plays a fire Pokemon in it, like the Chi-Yu as a revenge attacker and Charizard, not great. That being said, though, going into in the context of the World Championships, I think it's now become a deck where you just have to kind of try to dodge those matchups. And I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, listening to a lot of like experts, you know, quote unquote experts' opinions on this. I just don't see a lot of like top players like banking their Worlds run on like an Ethan Typhlosion or a Crustle, like maybe a Charizard if I'll give you one of those. But I think if someone's gonna take Goldango this weekend and do very well with it. Again, I just think there's definitely some heat, no pun intended, on the room. So I definitely think that A is a decent place for it.
Yeah, I guess A tier is probably a little more fitting. I think that realistically it will still do all right, but I don't see it being in top cut. So that's why I was kind of leaning more towards B. But I think is fair.
If Poltnor is as popular as it's going to be, that's going to be hard for you. I think straight Dragapult is a very good matchup for Goldango.
Yeah.
Because you can tank, you can 200 damage means nothing to you. You can blow up Dragapult very easily. I think your Gardevoir matchup is still very good. Like, I think a lot of the Limitless numbers still show that Goldengo has like a 50%, like I think it's like a 53% win rate against Gardevoir. So you boast a really good match. You boast really good matchups into the stuff that's like at the in like a 4-deck meta, like Grimmsnarl, Gardevoir, Dragapult, Goldengo. I think Goldengo you bode very well into those decks. You just really get your brakes blown off by everything else. So as long as you can dodge those like sketchier matchups that are probably not even going to crack like the 4 or 5% range, I think you'll be okay. And with that being said, Dragapult Dusknoir, I think this is an easy S tier pick, me personally.
Yeah, it's probably BDIF again.
Yeah, I just think this deck is so solid. You just have a litany of options. Being able to just nuke your opponent's board is very strong. You play excellent support Pokemon that not only allow you to get into games, but stay in games, get back into games, with the Badoo, with the Maractus, because a lot of decks aren't playing Switch. The Dusknoir and the Dusclops just add a wrinkle into this deck that, again, this deck's always been really good, and I think the addition of Hilda is truly that big for this deck, because I was thinking about it. I was just like, this deck only really gained, like, one new card from this last set. Like, so how come this wasn't being as dominant in the last meta rotation? I think it's just because your Gardevoir matchup is still pretty sketchy, but everything else, considering all that said, still a very solid deck choice.
Yeah, I mean, Hilda is just better than Arven.
Yeah. It's better than Jock.
And then also with Jellicent in play, you can't play the tools and then Tool Jammer as well. So, like, yeah, Hilda basically half Jock, half Arven.
Yeah, and I think Neo Upper Energy, just being able to cherry...
Dragapult. Exactly,
yeah. Like being able to, like, cherry pick Neo Upper Energy out of your deck, it just makes this deck move a little bit quicker. I think, showing how the online results have been, like, very strong for this deck the last week or so. It's tough because we're going to talk about Gardevoir in a second, but it'd be hard. It's hard not to choose, like, Dragapult Dusknoir as, like, your World's winner this year. I think this is the best shot it has.
It's BDIF. I mean, what's Gardevoir and that, or it's got to be one of those two, in my eyes.
Yeah, so let's just talk about Gardevoir right now. I think there's only 2 S tier decks here. I think it's Gardevoir and it's Dusknoir.
Yeah,
so.
and the funny thing about Gardevoir is, like, I think you can just put it as Gardevoir because there is going to probably be, like, many different 60s of it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone is right. I think it's depending on the player.
Sure. I definitely think there's an argument that where, like, the Jellicent is fine. The card is very effective, but like we've been saying for weeks now, it just gives you a different wrinkle to play Dragapult. But I think your biggest hurdle before with Gardevoir was like, your Goldengo matchup is kind of sketchy, just because you don't play. But now Goldengo's cutting Jamming Tower, so you can very easily put the Drifloon back in your deck, which now forces counterattacks because a lot of these Goldengo lists still also aren't playing the Tool Scrapper, which I think might have to come back into the conversation as a card you probably play if you want to tech for Gardevoir. Gardevoir just has so many options. This deck, again, this deck almost won a World Championships a couple years ago. I would not be surprised to see it make a deep run here. Again, these Dusknoir, the Dusknoir build the Dragapult does add a different wrinkle into this for you. You play a very fragile board that can possibly be wiped if not careful. But again, we've seen it from Gardevoir all season. The people that are going to play this deck are going to see high levels of success with it. It's a good deck. You don't gain much, but you don't really gain anything from the new set. But you're just still so solid and so consistent. I don't really see a realm where this deck does poorly this weekend.
Right. I'm with you. I fully expect Gardevoir to win. And if it's not, it's probably going to be Poltnor. I don't know. But Grimmsnarl Frostlass, see, that's the next one you have there. I would say that
I'm gonna put this in
is
B.
B. I was gonna say B tier as well.
Yeah, like I don't really know what to think of this deck. Like your Gardevoir matchup is pretty good, but I think your Goldengo matchup isn't great, especially because like your Goldengo's now these builds of Goldengo are playing 4 bosses orders. Not being able to add on that tick damage with Frostlass stinks. So Goldengo can just very easily just like play around your Grimmsnarls, just knock out the Frostlasses, and then you're just a big guy doing 180. So I don't know. I think there's obviously like a world where this deck does well because you're gonna do well into the setup decks. I think, but I just don't. I don't see it. Like you don't gain a whole lot. Honestly, I think the biggest thing that these like stage 2 decks get, that also in turn like help them against Gardevoir, is that Air Balloon makes like Mind Bend like stalling like a less effective tactic. You can't get like your big guys stuck in the active, so that goes for things like that also falls back true for Goldengo too. But like I don't know, I just don't really see I don't really see it here. Obviously the deck is still very strong, but I don't know. I don't see the vision.
Yeah. My thing with Grimmsnarl is mainly only doing 180 when you're not hitting for weakness is just too slow. Even with the Frostlass like checkup, and the 3 damage counter spread, you could obviously put them in awkward spots. I think that's why it's a B tier. But ultimately, I don't even see this finishing top 16. I just don't think we're in that meta right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll say. All right, so I'll take the over on a Grimmsnarl. I think we'll get 1 in top 16. I still think if the meta is going to be like pushed heavy towards Gardevoir this weekend, which I think it might be, I think it maybe Gardevoir is like a 17-18% meta play deck, at the bare minimum. I think you'll find someone that you'll play 8 rounds of Swiss, you'll hit 6 Gardevoirs, you might find yourself in a pretty decent spot. So let's talk about our friend Raging Bolt. Where are you jonesing for Raging Bolt right now?
I think it's a C tier.
I agree.
I think we're in a Charizard meta again. Whenever Charizard's good, Raging Bolt's bad.
Yeah.
That's really my only take there. Charizard, when it's good, Raging Bolt is bad.
My big vouch for Raging Bolt is that, again, playing efficiently and quick is the name of these big tournaments. So Raging Bolt allows you to do that. You don't blow any other matchup out of the water. But you carry a lot of like even matchups into a lot of things. So like your Goldengo matchup isn't that bad. So I think but your Gardevoir matchup is really bad, and you also are a deck that loses to like a lot of jank stuff. Like your Typhlosion matchup sucks. Your Charizard matchup has always historically been pretty bad. Again, I think there's going to be a small fraction of people that like play this deck just because it's low to the ground. It's easy. You can blow a lot of things up. But I agree. I just think there's too much heat. I think there's too much stuff that's going to like affect other decks. It's also going to directly affect Raging Bolt as well. So I don't know. Gardevoir good. I don't see it. Not the time. Not the time for the boy. Straight Dragapult, I don't really have an opinion on this. I think it's probably like a B. I'd probably give it an A tier deck. Just because you still have access to Dracloaks. You have like because you're not playing the Dusknoir line, you have room to play a lot more stuff like the Monkey Dory, the Maractus, the Blood Moon Ursaluna. I just think Poltnor is probably better. But I don't think straight Dragapult's like a necessarily bad option either.
Yeah, I think it is like.
Let's put it in B. I think it's a B tier deck.
Yeah, I think Dusknoir just really puts it over the top because manipulating the damage. Like we're kind of in a meta right now. Stage 2s are so prevalent that again I feel like Dragapult, straight Pult, without the Dust Nors and manipulating damage just kind of has the same problem as Grimmsnarl, where you're not doing enough.
Yeah, you're gonna run into some problems. Like I think you're gonna be very consistent, which is very good. But you're not gonna be able to like get over the top. There's gonna be a lot of turns where you might have to take a turn off, but do lock someone, try to corner stall someone. It doesn't always bode well for a great formula. But again, not a bad deck choice. Ethan's Typhlosion up here next on this list. Do you have any big brain thoughts about Typhlosion?
Yeah, I was watching Azul's stream the other day. It might have been yesterday. I can't keep track of days, but with Zoroark, that was interesting. A little more draw engine, and then Fez for endgame. Double Bangle. I still think Pidgeot is probably the best way to play it. I think straight Typhlosion is bad with no engine, and then I think Dracloak Dragapult one is bad as well. So I guess the same thing. It depends. I think I would still say it is a C tier though.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way. Again, you don't really you boast some interestingly good matchups. Like your Raging Bolt matchup is pretty good. Your Goldango matchup is good, just because I think the maths very well for this deck. 280 is a good number to hit on most things. The Brave Bangle now pushes that over to 310 with some damage multipliers like the Victini hitting 320. So you're knocking out virtually anything in one hit. Again, I just don't see the Pidgeot. I think is the best way to play this deck, but then you're also kind of cheapening what makes the deck really good. Is that you're a single prize deck that can blow stuff up, but Pidgeot and Fez are just so good to help you in the end game. Someone's gonna bet the farm this weekend with this deck, and I'm sure they'll do fine. Maybe you just kind of again pray to hit the matchups that you're really good into this weekend. But I just still think this deck is just missing something. I don't know what it is, but you're still just a piece away from being a very, very good deck, and maybe that's just rotation, truthfully, because this deck's gonna be around in the format for a couple more years. C tier it is for you. Dragon Ball Charizard. I'd probably put this in C tier also.
Yeah. I would say that one's more B tier. If you put straight Pult B tier, I think you put Pulsar B tier.
That's valid.
Just because it's a better version. It might even be A tier.
I don't know. Nah, I definitely think it's the worst variant. All right, so maybe we move straight Pult up to A tier and leave that there.
Maybe
that seems fair.
Because I would say, I think
this is definitely the worst way to play Dragapult, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But you do have so much flexibility early and late game.
Sure. It's just I don't know. So every time I play this deck, it's just you're kind of taking away what makes Dragapult really good, which is its consistency, and sometimes you just end up playing a pile. There's just so many games I have with this deck where you're just drawing an unplayable crap. So again, but the payoff is that you play a really good beginning game attacker in Dragapult with a really good stage 1 draw engine, and you play one of the best late game attackers in Charizard. So
it also plays Chi-Yu though.
It does also play Chi-Yu. I think B is fine for it. I think it's you're gonna win most of your matchups, but I just think you're gonna get outclassed by the Gardevoirs, the Dragapults with Dusknoir. So tough call. Good deck though. Joltik Box. I don't want to put this. I don't want.
You know how I feel.
I don't want to put that deck in C tier. Again, I don't think it's a terrible choice.
I think it's higher than C tier, higher than B tier. I would say it's A tier.
Okay, I'll give it to you. I'm into it. Talk about it. Speak your truth, brother.
I think it's the dark horse of the tournament. I think Iron Hands right now is greatly underappreciated in this meta. So many decks trying to set up, so many one prizers under 120 HP on the field. I think it's techs with, like the Iron Leaves and what's the other card? That's Ursaluna is playing now too. Like, there's a lot to like the Jolting Box right now. I can see one making top cut.
Yeah, I think this deck it bodes everything well to what we mentioned before. It's very low to the ground. You can play it very quickly. You have very like straightforward lines of attack. Again, the deck is very linear, but you play a great toolbox of attackers, and you bode a great arsenal of Pokemon cards to use in any given matchup. The Iron Leaves really helps you against the grass weak stuff. Pikachu's really good into Golden Go.
And the Garvantula too.
Yeah, the Garvantula is also very effective. I know there are some lists that we mentioned last week that they're playing the Brave Bangle in combination with the Garvantula,
Yes.
so that way you can chase down like bigger EX Pokemon that have 210 HP, stuff like Pheasantipity, stuff like the Ogerpon. So there's a lot to. There's some stuff you can do with this. I also think this is a deck that benefits well from using the new electric card. Just being able to reload that lightning energy onto one of your guys at any given time is good.
And the whatchamacallit, the guy, Zekrom.
The Zekrom, you could use the Zekrom, I guess, but I don't really think you need the Zekrom in this deck because you already play Pikachu. So
It's easier to set up Zekrom.
sure, but
Yeah.
it's tough. Either way, I definitely think there's a lot to like about this deck. Again, I know you're gonna run into some worse. You're gonna run into some worse for wear matchups, like the higher the tables you get. But
I think they're also playing Clefairy now.
I think they've always played Clefairy in this deck.
Always? Oh, see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've seen some lists with or without it, but like
I think you
kinda
need the
just have a
Clefairy in
tech
this deck.
for everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of low key meta proof because like there's no fighting that's really you have to worry about.
I guess the big thing you have to worry about is that your Raging Bolt matchup still probably sucks, and your Gardevoir matchup isn't great either. But like,
But how many Raging Bull are you going to see? That's
Exactly.
why I like it.
yeah,
I think that's Guardy's worst matchup as well
interesting.
because Iron Hands makes it really tough.
That's true. Yeah, early game Iron Hands like really puts your opponent on a clock. So that aspect of it is very very good.
If you could set up 2 Iron Hands and keep bossing, like that's so much pressure on them.
Good deck. Let's talk about your beloved now, Charizard Pidgeot.
Yeah, I think it's A tier, man. So what's the difference between Charizard Pidgeot and Charizard Dusknoir?
I was gonna kind of ignore that one. I think that's more like how shout out Michael Breyer, friend of the show, with like that like bomb Charizard like list where you don't play Pidgeot at all, you just play Dusknoir, and like your only 2 prizers is like Charizard, so your opponent can't just like gust around and knock out something small. They have to go through a Charizard, or you're just gonna blow up their board. I'll give you B tier. I was gonna put it maybe in B tier.
A.
All right, we'll A it. That's fine.
It's A. It's really good right now. It's like, I mean, your worst matchup is just Dragapult Dusknoir again, but everything else here, Jolting Box, Straight Pull, Goldango, Grimmsnarl, Raging Bolt, Ethan's Typhlosion, Gardevoir. It's good against everything right now. The only bad matchup you have is Dragapult Dusknoir.
Yeah, I definitely think there's that subsection of people that are just like in the church of Charizard, like yourself, are gonna gravitate towards this deck. I agree. It's just tough because like again, this is another one of those like dodge and weave like type brackets you got to go on with Charizard. Like if you can avoid the stuff that'll wreck your day, then maybe I could definitely see one going deep here. I'm just gonna go on a limb and say that Gabriel Fernandez is gonna win seniors with Charizard again. I would be shocked if he didn't. I truly hope he does. That would be so sick. I don't know. I agree with you. I think the deck just has the deck has lines of play into the stuff that's like boding to be very well right now. So, going on a line here, Flareon Noctowl.
D.
B tier.
It's bad right now.
D tier. D tier.
It's really bad right now.
Yeah, that's tough. We'll see it because I do think again in the context of the world meta, there are things that you run into that you do really well against. The Leafeon that they're playing bodes well into your grass weak things like Charizard, like Grimmsnarl. Again, not foolproof answers, but answers. Not every deck has that luxury, I guess. Your Goldango matchup is borderline unlosable. Barring some natural disaster. You just take some worse matchups into stuff like Gardevoir and Dragapult. And even then, your Dragapult matchups aren't that bad. If they're playing the Ghosts, it's definitely a lot worse for wear for you. But you play the Sylveon, and even if you're not playing the Sylveon, because I know a lot of these lists are starting to cut that card, you're seeing that place being taken by the Teal Mask Ogerpon, which gives you, again, another option to take 2 Pokemon out of play. I personally still think the Sylveon is better because I played this deck with the Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, and like as cool as it is taking 2 prize cards off your opponent, you then set yourself up with a 2 prizer in the active that is kind of vulnerable, so it forces a lot of resources to be fed through that Pokemon, which I don't love. But I agree. I just think that the other stuff around is just a little too good. This is another one of those like, just pray that you hit 8 Goldangos in 9 rounds of play type stuff.
Yeah. I do have an update. We are back.
We're back.
The payments are now working, so we're fully focused now.
All right, we're going to Homestead. So
shout out Spot On's support team for getting that resolved under an hour. Pretty sick, honestly. Ho-Oh Armorers, absolutely dear garbage deck. If you're playing it, you're a loser. No one likes you.
I think this deck is not great. It's just, all right, like, it's cool. Like, the Ho-Oh is cool. The Armarouge is cool. But, like, this deck is such a pile. Like, you play so many Pokemon, and so you're bound to start a bad one you don't want to start. Only some of these Pokemon are, like, good in any given situation. And, like, you're just playing a bunch of big guys that just get blown up. Like,
it's so bad. I don't even get, like, how it's considered like a deck in this format. Like, no one should be playing that deck.
I mean, the Prism Energy like opens up some
does it?
I think it does. Again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I agree with you. I don't think the deck's very good, but someone's going to bring this to Worlds, and somebody again is going to maybe see some level of success with it. Again, you play a better special energy that works in conjunction with the other special energy, the other energy in your deck. It's like you theoretically could play some other Pokemon and take like 2 types of colored energy instead of just like 1. So, again, still don't think it's that good, but someone will bet the house on this. I'm kind of conflicted on Crustle. I kind of want to. It's just because like your Gardevoir matchup sucks. Your Dragapult matchup with Dusknoir is probably pretty bad. But, like, everything else is, like, kind of good, man. Like, I don't know. Like, we've seen these sort of, like, walling strategies pay off. Like, we saw it last year with Quad Thorns. Again, a little bit of a different situation. But, like, somebody could take the rogue, you can't hit me, or you can't play the game deck and do really well with it. So, I kind of want to put it in B tier.
I kind of want to put it in B tier, but I do believe it lives in C tier.
I think it's a C for Crustle. T.
Yeah, I think it's a C tier. I mean, it's just not like, is this sustainable to win round after round after round in a best of 3? If you lose one game, you pretty much lose the best of 3.
Basically, yeah, that's the tough part with this deck.
So if you win game 1, then you win the best of 3. It's basically block Snorlax again. Like, is it D tier? It might be D tier.
I think it's a C tier deck because I
go higher than that.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna bode any higher than this. Again, like for the context of the World Championships, like yes, like I think the idea of playing like a blocking Pokemon deck that like can't be hit by stuff is very good. You see a lot of decks are starting to tech in one of the Cornerstone Mask Ogrepon to kind of help with their with their Goldengo matchup or another matchup that's their deck might get folded in half by an EX Pokemon. And while one Cornerstone Mask doesn't solve your problems in a lot of matchups, I think a Cornerstone Mask and a Crustle does. I've seen enough success with this deck to where it's someone's gonna bring it, somebody's gonna get the lucky bracket. I'll even go as far as say I think this deck might get top 16. That'll be my hot take for this episode. I think it's a Crustle deck will get top 16.
My question is, if Psyduck was in this tournament, how much better would it be?
That's a good question. I think
because I think it's not good because of
Dragapult.
Dusknoir.
And Dusknoir. Yeah. I agree. I think if we had Psyduck in general, this Worlds would be a lot more interesting. It's a shame it hasn't it's not coming out for another couple of months, but yeah, I agree. I think once Psyduck comes out, and you're going to see maybe a change back to maybe like another Dragapult list to what we expect, but I don't know. I think Crustle lives in C tier. I think it's okay. Is it a good? You're not going to win.
Crustle.
You're not going to win the World Championships with this deck, but you're going to make somebody's weekend much more difficult than it already was. And Zoroark. What do you think?
I want to say it's A tier, but I think it's B tier.
I agree. I think it's a B tier deck. Speak your truth.
I think, obviously, it's the problem with it, personally, that I'm conflicted not to put in A tier is because I think it's good against the 2 S tier decks on this list.
Yes, I agree.
The other problem with it is that I don't think it's very good against anything else in the format.
I think your Goldengo matchup is okay because you do have the option of using like that first attack from Darmanitan is actually usable. Like it's basically like a fuck you Goldengo attack, the backdraft attack.
Yeah.
So I also think like you're gonna see like maybe these Zoroark lists like lean heavier into like the Darmanitan list than what we saw at NAIC, where like the top 8 list only played a very thin line of the Darmanitan. Like I think being able to draw cards is very good, and having the ability to snipe the bench more effectively than other Pokemon in the decks can in the format. I just with the lack of Shaman going around, I just think this deck is poised to do very well. So,
yeah, I agree. I still would like. I want to just go on record saying that I think Zoroark will be in top cut. Someone will come up with some funky, and it'll be good.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it yet. So B tier is where it should be, but yeah.
We'll see. That's it for all the Pokemon we have on the tier list. Is there any other Pokemon? Is there any other like deck you might think about like that you would want to put on here maybe?
Terrabox.
That's the only one I think that's missing from here. I think that deck is
or Ogre Box, or is it? It's more
Terrabox.
Ogre Box.
Yeah, it's short. The Ogrepon box.
Which I would say is probably a D tier anyway, right?
Really? You think so? Even with nobody playing Shaman? I'd say that deck is at least a B tier, personally.
B tier?
I think so. Because nobody's playing Shaman. And the knockdown engine is so good. So you have a good draw engine with the Teal Mask Ogrepon. You can snipe the bench with Wellspring Mask. You have the ultimate like safeguard Pokemon, and you can press the emergency fuck you button with the Cornerstone Mask. So I don't know. I don't think that deck is as like bad of a choice now than we thought it would have been like a month or two ago. So.
Yeah, I could see maybe high is C tier. I don't know. B tier is. Look at the other decks in here though.
Sure. I definitely if I were to put it in B tier, it'd definitely be like the worst of the B tier decks personally. So.
Any other decks? I'm trying to think.
I think that covers all of them. Truthfully.
Yeah, I think that is it.
Miraidon's like the only other like deck that I think would be like worth talking about, but like it's not really a thing right now. The Zekrom and all that is kind of a lie. So
It's just more of like, I think you still play Joltik in it though.
yeah, I think just think Joltik Box is the better version of the better way to play.
Yeah.
A Miraidon deck if you want to play it.
What about like any rockets?
Nah, ass tier. It's right down here. It's right down here with Ho-Oh.
Yeah.
Tough stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that list.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty fair. Goldengo, Dragapult, Joltik Box, Charizard Pidgeot.
I think that's a valid choice. Now, gun to your head, George. We've been dancing around it. You're locked in on what are you locked in on winning the World Championships?
Gardevoir. It's got to happen. I mean, I just don't see a world where it doesn't win, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Because all the top players are playing it. That's mainly the reason.
Yeah. I just think you like going into the World Championships, you want to play something that's going to take the least amount of randomness out of your games. Gardevoir just has answers in everything. Super consistent. You play probably, is it like blasphemy to say that Secret Box is the best ace spec in the game right now? Like that card is so good. You just get into so many games with one card. Like you have so many options and everything. Bench snipe, blow stuff up. You can move damage. You can take multi-prize turns against these smaller one-prize decks. So you take the illusion of that out of it for these decks.
Yeah, I think a big card this weekend that's going to show up and really put the brakes on a lot is Klefki.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if that deck's going to pop up. I think that's like the one tech that people aren't talking about enough as to how good it is. So
yeah, stops a lot. Stops a lot.
I want to ride for my boy Goldengo, but again, I just think there's too much heat. I think Goldengo's going to fall victim to like the same stuff that like Lugia hit for the longest time, where like people aren't directly teching for you, but because they're teched for this other thing that's also good against you, you're going to get caught in the crosshairs. It's tough, but I also agree. I think Gardevoir, it's like if it's not now, then it's not. It's not that it's not now, then when. It's like it's either now or you never win a World Championships because you're going away in a few months.
Yeah. Who do you think? Which player is going to win the Masters division?
See, that's a good question, and I wanted to kind of like dive into this maybe a little bit more, but there's just so many players that qualify for World Championships. Part of me wants to say Harrell, but like he's got to lock in first. It's hard to ignore how good of a season that Henry Chow had, obviously, especially if he's like helping cook some Gardevoir nonsense this weekend. I think he's poised to do well, but that's the scary part about the World Championships. You never really know what's going to happen. Someone could
put odds up like
like Vegas odds,
like PGA.
Yeah, that'd be kind of sick.
That'd be funny, right?
Yeah,
like I would say Henry Chow. Like who would you say is like the like if you had Vegas odds on it, who would be the top? The favorite.
I'd say
Henry Chow.
I'd say Henry. I'd say Tord. Obviously, like Tord again. His Tord for his standards has had like a very like for his standards he didn't have the greatest season he would have wanted to have. Still played very very well this season. But
I'd say Ian Robb's got to be up there.
I think Ian's up there as well. Like
I would say
you can't sleep on Azul either. Like Azul obviously finished very any of the big names you can't really sleep on. So
even like Vance Kelly, you might see some crazy shit just happen.
Yeah, or Jesse Parker, or one of those guys. Again, Jesse had a pretty like quiet season. He didn't really have to do too much because he auto qualified already. But like, that guy, Jesse's an incredibly smart player. Someone that knows a lot about the game. He'll figure something out to kind of navigate this madness. And obviously, I'm rooting for the guys. So I would want Harrell and Michael Breyer to do very well. So
Michael Bio plus 5,000 to win. Would you bet it?
Yeah, I'd take that.
I would take it. Perot Manhand plus 10,000 to win it. Would you take it?
I'll bet the house on it.
I'm not wasting my money on that one.
Is it over or under 1.5 games for her? Over under 1.5 rounds for her L.
Under, big time. He doesn't even know what he wants to play still.
He'll figure it out. He'll be all right. He claims he's the biggest potato in the room. There's that, but Harrell, had to work very hard to get to the World Championships. He's earned a spot there.
Yeah, I do think Michael is going to do well though.
To kind of shine a light on some like international players here for a second, because we did talk a lot about
we're all just talking about U.S. players. Like we're obviously taking it home. Like, that's kind of ignorant.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah. Considering that last year's champion was not from America.
We're talking about one from the Middle East and South African.
That is true. Yeah, Harrell counts. Some names from I think we did mention Tord. But like Daniel Magda, first year master this season, very very good season in Europe. Obviously Alberto Conti from Italy,
Conti, yep.
Yeah, regional winner this season.
Thomason.
Yeah, Stefan Ivan, yeah. Brent's poised to do very well.
Yeah, Brent I honestly would probably be up there as well with I'd say Ian Robbs, Henry Chow's. Toward Ratcliffe's. He'd be up there if you had a Vegas-style betting format for sure. I mean, he arguably had the best season this year, right? He was the number one player.
I think play points wise, he might have been. I'd have to double check the leaderboard on that. I know it was like him, Rahul, and somebody else were up there for a while. So,
well, no, but if you like take in consideration regional wins as well, like Henry obviously had a magnificent season, but I think Brent technically, for regional wins, tied him plus had more top finishes.
That sounds about right. Also got to give a shout out to my GOAT, Tim Franklin. I hope he doesn't actually play Crustle this weekend because that would be tragic. But just kind of looking through there's someone else in Europe I wanted to mention.
What's the big Japanese player?
Daichi Shimada. Did Daichi qualify this year? I think he did. There's also like the guy that qualified yesterday, Shinosuke. Ryuki Okada won 2 events this season. Kato Arai, another great player from Japan. Did Daichi qualify? I think he did. Yeah. Okay, I see him in here, I think. Also, I got to give a shout out to my one of my go-to I'm rooting for, the Golden God at Jelle Van Kampen. Man has made so much money only playing Goldengo to regionals. So if anyone's going to crack the code on how that deck's not going to fall flat on its ass this weekend, it's going to be him. That's my GOAT.
I agree.
Shout out that guy.
I mean, overall, I think it's going to be an interesting weekend. I'm excited to see the pomp and circumstances. Circumstances? How do you say it?
Careful. Don't finish that sentence. Pomp and circumstance is what you're looking for.
Pomp and circumcise. What?
I think the only other thing I had on this doc is so usually at the World Championships, they usually announce where next year's World Championship is going to be. Spoiler alert, they did that last year, so we already know next year's going to be in San Francisco. Again, you're going to be on your way home by the time this all happens. You got any thing? Do you think they're going to drop any big announcements at the World Championships?
I think it's going to be a lot about VGC with champions coming out. I just, isn't it weird how they just don't really do anything new for TCG over and over again?
It's tough. Maybe we'll see more of the mega set, I guess, but we already know so much about that coming out. There's really not much else they can tease us with. Because last year they teased us with the owner's Pokemon. So unless they're gonna show us the Charizard and the Gengar stuff that's gonna come out probably the end of this year, I don't really see much.
Maybe they'll show us a Mega Dragonite card.
Maybe. Or maybe we'll get some more fanfare for next year, because next year's the 30th anniversary for Pokemon. So there's gonna be a lot of
the new celebrations.
Yeah, which is going to drive. I'm not going to open a lick of that. I'm coming to you live from the future. I haven't found a single box yet. Whatever that is.
Yeah, I still haven't opened one singular pack of Black Bolt or Red or
White Flare. There you go.
Ric Flair.
Woo! You looking forward? It's the last thing from you. You looking forward to your trip?
I'm so tired, Kyle, that it's just gonna make me more tired. But I've never been to like L.A. area. I've only been to San Diego, so that's exciting for me. I don't really like. The more I keep researching about Anaheim, and LD, friend of the show, just went there and said it's like pretty boring. You just have to go to L.A. So that's upsetting to me, but yeah. I don't know if that answers your question or not.
I think you're partially excited. I'll say you're about a 7 of the 10 way excited. So
We did make a reservation for a Peruvian omakase experience on Friday night.
oh, don't tell me what the
That, 16 course, plus a little appy, plus dessert. Peruvian food is phenomenal, so I can only imagine Peruvian Japanese fusion omakase, what that's about, and that's exciting for me.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys. I'm very sad I'm not going to be making the trip out with you guys. It stinks.
I mean, realistically, let's look at my weekend in a box. All right, gonna get there. I'm gonna want to do George things as soon as I get there. Obviously, right?
George things. Got to take George for a walk.
Guys, I'm going out. You guys can stay here. I'm going. Can't hold me down. You know how I get when I first land. I get very excited. And then, on top of that, Chris and Omar are going to be on their scheming shit, trying to see what trades they can do. You saw Chris won the world's promo winner card.
Nice. Good for him. That's awesome.
He's definitely trading that shit.
1,000%.
Like, without a doubt in my fucking mind. And then Harrell is going to be like, okay, I'm 0-3, I'm going to drop. And Omar's going to be, no, keep playing, you're here. And he's going to be like, no. He's going to want to leave. We're going to go back to the Airbnb. The Airbnb is sick, by the way, though. It has like a bar outside with a grill and like a little patio.
Does this grill actually work, or?
Yeah, I'll report back on that. I'm not entirely sure. And then from there we'll probably go out to dinner, have a night, and then it's going to be a big conflict the next day. Do we want to go back to the venue or not? You know what my answer is going to be.
No.
Harrell has already told me Sunday that he has no. Is today Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Holy shit. I really, when people ask that and they're like, they kind of know the answer.
Yeah.
I genuinely did not know the answer to
And then tomorrow's Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. Shout out to Jenna. She's a fan.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, that's real breaking news, but we'll save that for another day.
Tease for next week's episode.
Yeah.
Woo!
And then chill on Sunday. Yeah, that is. I would love to chill on Sunday. I'm probably gonna chill pretty hard on Sunday.
Aren't you coming back on Sunday?
Sunday night.
Ooh, red eye.
Red eye, 7 a.m. on Monday.
Oh, red eye looking ass. Oh, brother.
I'm 1,000% taking a nice gummy on the way home from LA.
Tell me you're going to work on Monday when you get back.
Oh, you fucking bet your ass.
Oh! Oh, no rest for the weary over here. So.
No, I'm gonna have a great sleep on the plane.
Yeah. Hey, I'm looking forward to it for you, man. You guys are gonna have a lot of fun, I'm sure. So.
Are you having FOMO?
1,000% I am. I'm truly going into this like this. Last weekend was a lot of fun. I got to see a lot of my friends I don't get to see as often because of Smash stuff. And then the weekend following, I'm going to have a lot of fun because I'm going to another Super Smash Bros. Tournament next week that I'm working at. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And this week was also going to be fun if I was able to go to Worlds. But this is going to be like the worst work week of my life this week because I'm once again working a 6-day week, which sucks. So I'm in the trenches. I have a lot of FOMO. I'm pretty bummed about it. I already put in the days off for next year, because they already announced when the days for Worlds are next year. So I'm going to Worlds next year. I'm gonna make it happen.
Okay. I am going to announce this now today. George Fabre will commit to a Pokemon 2025 World Championship vlog.
Oh, all right. So you guys here to hear it first. George is going to be our eyes on the scene to document the run for our friends. And
it's going to be a solo George Cam. So you don't even have to put George Cam up there because it's just a given.
I must still do it for the jokes, just because it's a fun filter to do. But
also, I just dropped off yesterday 10 Nantucket Red, they're pink, new Squawk shirts that are being printed as we speak.
Hell yeah. Very excited for those, to rock those to Pity and wherever else I might go. But I think
I think we'll have extra, so maybe it'll be part of the next giveaway.
Yeah. Can't wait. And again, and also just to kind of like wrap things up real quick before we get out of here, the World Championships is where we started our journey last year, George. I think I don't know if we're at a solid year yet, but we've been doing this podcast for almost a year.
It was right afterwards.
So it was right afterwards.
Maybe next week would be 1 year.
Next year. But yeah, kind of crazy to think about.
I would just love for everybody to help us with our goal to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year.
I think we could definitely get there, 1,000%.
We're so close.
So close. Croc, I'm so close. Yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us and talking with us. And chilling. Mario. Oh, man. Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Now?
I did, yeah. I
said it like 5 minutes ago.
I know you did. I'm stupid. Yeah, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys hanging with us and watching and being fans of the show. This has been a fun journey for us to go on together in the last years. So, could have asked a better partner to do this with, bud. This has been a lot of fun. So,
absolutely, same. Say the same. Where can they find you, Calarios?
I'm a Koopa NJ across platforms. Like I said, nothing going on for me this week. I will be watching the World Championship. Maybe we'll do like a little watch party of the World Championships over the weekend. See what I got going on. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I would follow me there. We're gonna start getting the streams going again soon. And obviously follow us at Squawkcast on YouTube and on the platform formerly known as Twitter. And I'm going to go eat some crab rangoon real soon after this. Georgie, where can they find you?
Pony Bottle Champ, PNYBTL Champ.
Bony Bottle Champ.
If you see me in the wild, apparently say what's up. Don't call me by Pony Bottle Champ because it will freak me out. But definitely check me out on Twitter this weekend. I will be posting pictures live from the World Championships, so you're definitely going to want to check that out.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what horrors are going to arise in Los Angeles. It's going to be my favorite game is what's George going to send me, and can I use this legally on the internet? I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and yeah, we'll see you next week for our World's recap episode. And until then, ever so wonderful night, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Like and subscribe, please. Please.